Yashar, Jasher, chapter 88. And it came to be after the death of Moshe that Yahweh spoke to Yahoshua son of Nun, saying, Rise up and pass over the YardЄn to the land which I have given to the children of Yisrael, and you shall make the children of Yisrael inherit the land. Every place on which the sole of your feet shall tread shall belong to you. From the wilderness of Lebanon to the great river, the river of Parath, shall be your boundary. No man shall stand against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moshe, so I will be with you. Only be strong and of good courage to observe all the law which Moshe commanded you. Do not turn from the way, either to the right or to the left, in order that you may prosper in all that you do. And Yahoshua commanded the officers of Yisrael, saying, Pass through the camp and command the people, saying, Prepare for yourselves provisions, for in 3 days more you will pass the YardЄn to possess the land. And the officers of the children of Yisrael did so, and they commanded the people, and they did all that Yahoshua had commanded. And Yahoshua sent 2 men to spy out the land of Jericho, and the men went and spied out Jericho. And at the end of 7 days they came to Yahoshua in the camp, and said to him, Yahweh has delivered the whole land into our hand, and the inhabitants thereof are melted with fear because of us. And it came to be after that Yahoshua rose up in the morning, and all Yisrael with him, and they journeyed from Shittim, and Yahoshua and all Yisrael with him passed the YardЄn. And Yahoshua was 82 years old when he passed the YardЄn with Yisrael. And the people went up from YardЄn on the 10th day of the 1st month, and they camped in Gilgal, at the eastern corner of Jericho. And the children of Yisrael kept the Pesach in Gilgal, in the plains of Jericho, on the 14th day at the month, as it is written in the Torah of Moshe. And the manna ceased at that time on the morrow of the Pesach, and there was no more manna for the children of Yisrael, and they ate of the produce of the land of Canaan. And Jericho was entirely closed against the children of Yisrael. No one came out or went in. And it came to be in the 2nd month, on the 1st day of the month, that Yahweh said to Yahoshua, Rise up, see, I have given Jericho into your hand with all the people thereof, and all your fighting men shall go round the city once each day. Thus shall you do for 6 days. And the Kohanim shall blow on trumpets, and when you shall hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall give a great shouting, that the walls of the city shall fall down. All the people shall go up, every man against his opponent. And Yahoshua did so according to all that Yahweh had commanded him. And on the 7th day they went around the city 7 times, and the Kohanim blew on trumpets. And at the 7th round, Yahoshua said to the people, Shout, for Yahweh has delivered the whole city into our hands. Only the city and all that it contains shall be under the ban to Yahweh. And keep yourselves from that which is under the ban, lest you make the camp of Yisrael accursed and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and brass and iron shall be qadosh to Yahweh. They shall come into the treasury of Yahweh. And the people blew on trumpets and made a great shouting, and the walls of Jericho fell down, and all the people went up, every man straight before him. And they took the city and utterly destroyed all that was in it, both man and woman, young and old, ox and sheep and donkey, with the edge of the sword. And they burned the whole city with fire. Only the vessels of silver and gold and brass and iron they put into the treasury of Yahweh. And Yahoshua swore at that time, saying, Cursed be the man who builds Jericho. He lays the foundation thereof with his firstborn, and with his youngest son he puts up the gates thereof. And Achan, son of Carmi, son of Zabdi, son of Zerach, son of Yehudah, dealt treacherously in the accursed matter, and he took of that which is under the ban, and hid it in the tent. And the wrath of Yahweh was kindled against Yisrael. And it came to be after this, when the children of Yisrael had returned from burning Jericho, Yahoshua also sent men to spy out Ai, and to fight against it. And the men went up and spied out Ai, and they returned and said, Let not all the people go up with you to Ai, only let about 3,000 men go up and smite the city, for the men thereof are but few. And Yahoshua did so, and there went up with him of the children of Yisrael about 3,000 men, and they fought against the men of Ai. And the battle was fierce against Yisrael, and the men of Ai smote 36 men of Yisrael, and the children of Yisrael fled from before the men of Ai. And when Yahoshua saw this matter, he tore his garments and fell on his face to the ground before Yahweh, he with the elders of Yisrael, and they put dust on their heads. And Yahoshua said, Why, O Yahweh, did you bring this people over the YardЄn? What shall I say after the Israelites have turned their backs against their enemies? Now therefore all the Canaanites, inhabitants of the land, will hear this matter, and surround us, and cut off our name. And Yahweh said to Yahoshua, Why are you fallen upon your face? Rise, get up, for the Israelites have sinned, and taken of that which is under the ban. I will no longer be with them, unless they destroy that which is under the ban from among them. And Yahoshua rose up and assembled the people, and brought the Urim by the command of Yahweh, and the tribe of Yehudah was taken, and Achan son of Carmi was taken. And Yahoshua said to Achan, Tell me, my son, what have you done? And Achan said, I saw amongst the spoil a lovely garment of shinar, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight. I coveted them and took them, and see, they are all hidden in the earth in the midst of the tent. And Yahoshua sent men who went and took them from the tent of Achan, and they brought them to Yahoshua. And Yahoshua took Achan and these items, and his sons and daughters, and all belonging to him, and they brought them to the valley of Achor. And Yahoshua burned them there with fire, and all the Israelites stoned Achan with stones, and they raised a heap of stones over him. That is why he called that place the valley of Achor. So the wrath of Yahweh was appeased, and after this Yahoshua came to the city and fought against it. And Yahweh said to Yahoshua, Fear not, neither be dismayed. See, I have given Ai into your hand, its sovereign and its people, and you shall do to them as you did to Jericho and its sovereign. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof you take for booty for yourselves. Lay in ambush for the city behind it. So Yahoshua did according to the word of Yahweh, and he chose from among the sons of battle 30,000 mighty men, and he sent them, and they lay in ambush for the city. And he commanded them, saying, When you see us, we will flee before them with cunning, and they will pursue us. You shall then rise out of the ambush and take the city. And they did so, and Yahoshua fought, and the men of the city went out toward Yisrael, not knowing that they were lying in ambush for them behind the city. And Yahoshua and all the Israelites pretended they were wearied before them, and they fled by the way of the wilderness with cunning. And the men of Ai gathered all the peoples who were in the city to pursue the Israelites, and they went out and were drawn away from the city. Not one remained, and they left the city open and pursued the Israelites. And those who were lying in ambush rose up out of their places and hastened to come to the city, and took it and lit it on fire. And the men of Ai turned back, and see, the smoke of the city ascended to the skies, and they had no means of retreating either one way or the other. And all the men of Ai were in the midst of Yisrael, some on this side and some on that side, and they smote them so that not one of them remained. And the children of Yisrael took Melosh, sovereign of Ai, alive, and they brought him to Yahoshua. And Yahoshua hanged him on a tree, and he died. And the children of Yisrael returned to the city after having burned it, and they smote all those that were in it with the edge of the sword. And the number of those that had fallen of the men of Ai, both man and woman, was 12,000. Only the cattle and the spoil of the city they took for themselves, according to the word of Yahweh to Yahoshua. And all the sovereigns on this side of the YardЄn, all the sovereigns of Canaan, heard of the evil which the children of Yisrael had done to Jericho and to Ai, and they gathered themselves together to fight against Yisrael. Only the inhabitants of Givon were greatly afraid of fighting against the Israelites, lest they should perish. So they acted cunningly, and they came to Yahoshua and to all Yisrael, and said to them, We have come from a distant land, now therefore make a covenant with us. And the inhabitants of Givon deceived the children of Yisrael, and the children of Yisrael made a covenant with them, and they made peace with them, and the princes of the congregation swore to them. And afterward the children of Yisrael knew that they were neighbors to them and were dwelling among them. But the children of Yisrael did not slay them, for they had sworn to them by Yahweh, and they became hewers of wood and drawers of water. And Yahoshua said to them, "Why did you deceive me to do this matter to us?" And they answered him, saying, "Because it was told to your servants all that you had done to all the sovereigns of the Amorites, and we were greatly afraid for our lives, and we did this matter." And Yahoshua appointed them on that day to hew wood and to draw water, and he divided them for slaves to all the tribes of Yisrael. And when Adoni-Zedek, sovereign of Jerusalem, heard all that the children of Yisrael had done to Jericho and to Ai, he sent to Hoham, sovereign of Hebron, and to Piram, sovereign of Yarmuth, and to Yaphia, sovereign of Lachish, and to Deber, sovereign of Eglon, saying, "Come up to me and help me, that we may smite the children of Yisrael and the inhabitants of Givon, who have made peace with the children of Yisrael." And they gathered themselves together, and the 5 sovereigns of the Amorites went up with all their camps, a mighty people numerous as the sand of the seashore. And all these sovereigns came and encamped before Givon, and they began to fight against the inhabitants of Givon. And all the men of Givon sent to Yahoshua, saying, "Come up quickly to us and help us, for all the sovereigns of the Amorites have gathered together to fight against us." And Yahoshua and all the men of battle went up from Gilgal, and Yahoshua came suddenly upon them, and smote these 5 sovereigns with a great slaughter. And Yahweh put them to shame before the children at Yisrael, who smote them with a terrible slaughter in Givon, and pursued them along the way that goes up to Beth Horon to Makkedah, and they fled from before the children of Yisrael. And while they were fleeing, Yahweh sent hailstones on them from the Shamayim, and more of them died by the hailstones than by the slaughter of the children of Yisrael. And the children of Yisrael pursued them, and they continued to smote them on the way, going on and smiting them. And when they were smiting, the day was declining toward evening, and Yahoshua said in the sight of all the people, "Sun, stand still on Givon, and moon in the valley of Ayalon, until the nation has avenged itself upon its enemies." And Yahweh listened to the voice of Yahoshua, and the sun stood still in the midst of the Shamayim, and it stood still 36 moments. And the moon also stood still, and did not hasten to go down a whole day. And there was no day like that before it or after it, that Yahweh listened to the voice of a man, for Yahweh fought for Yisrael. Yashar, Jasher, chapter 89. Then Yahoshua spoke this song on the day that Yahweh had given the Amorites into the hand of Yahoshua and the children of Yisrael, and he said in the sight of all Yisrael, "You have done mightily, O Yahuwah. You have performed great deeds. Who is like you? My lips shall sing to your name. My goodness and my fortress, my high tower, I will sing a new song to you. With thanksgiving I will sing to you. You are the strength of my salvation. All the sovereigns of the earth shall praise you. The princes of the world shall sing to you. The children of Yisrael shall rejoice in your salvation. They shall sing and praise your power. To you, O Yahuwah, did we confide. We said, you are our Elohim, for you are our shelter and strong tower against our enemies. To you we cried, and we were not ashamed. In you we trusted and were delivered. When we cried to you, you heard our voice. You delivered our beings from the sword. You showed to us your favor. You gave to us your salvation. You rejoiced our hearts with your strength. You went forth for our salvation. With your arm you redeemed your people. You answered us from the Shamayim of your Kodeshah. You saved us from 10,000s of people. The sun and moon stood still in the Shamayim, and you stood in your wrath against our oppressors and commanded your right rulings over them. All the princes of the earth stood up. The sovereigns of the nations had gathered themselves together. They were not moved at your presence. They desired your battles. You rose against them in your wrath and brought down your wrath upon them. You destroyed them in your wrath and cut them off in your heart. Nations have been consumed with your fury. Reigns have declined because of your wrath. You crushed sovereigns in the day of your wrath. You poured out your fury upon them. Your burning displeasure took hold of them. You turned their iniquity upon them and cut them off in their wickedness. They spread a trap, they fell therein. In the net they hid, their foot was caught. Your hand was ready for all your enemies who said, through their sword they possessed the land. Through their arm they dwelt in the city. You filled their faces with shame. You brought their horns down to the ground. You frightened them in your rage and destroyed them in your wrath. The earth trembled and shook at the sound of your storm over them. You did not withhold their beings from death and brought down their lives to the grave. You pursued them in your storm. You consumed them in your whirlwind. You turned their rain into hail. They fell in deep pits so that they could not rise. Their carcasses were like rubbish cast out in the middle of the streets. They were consumed and destroyed in your wrath. You saved your people with your might. Therefore, our hearts rejoice in you. Our beings exult in your salvation. Our tongues shall relate your might. We will sing and praise your wondrous works. For you saved us from our enemies. You delivered us from those who rose up against us. You destroyed them from before us and crushed them beneath our feet. Thus shall all your enemies perish, O Yahweh, and the wicked shall be like chaff driven by the wind, and your beloved shall be like trees planted by the waters. So Yahoshua and all Yisrael with him returned to the camp in Gilgal, after having smitten all the sovereigns, so that not a remnant was left of them. And the 5 sovereigns fled alone on foot from battle and hid themselves in a cave. And Yahoshua sought for them in the field of battle, but did not find them. And afterward it was told to Yahoshua, saying, The sovereigns are found, and see, they are hidden in a cave. And Yahoshua said, Appoint men to be at the mouth of the cave, to guard them, lest they take themselves away. And the children of Yisrael did so. And Yahoshua called to all Yisrael, and said to the officers of battle, Place your feet upon the necks of these sovereigns. And Yahoshua said, So shall Yahweh do to all your enemies. And afterward Yahoshua commanded that they should slay the sovereigns and cast them into the cave, and to put great stones at the mouth of the cave. And afterward Yahoshua went with all the people that were with him on that day to Makkedah, and he smote it with the edge of the sword. And he utterly destroyed the beings and all belonging to the city, and he did to the sovereign and people of there as he had done to Jericho. And he passed from there to Libnah, and he fought against it, and Yahweh delivered it into his hand. And Yahoshua smote it with the edge of the sword, and all the beings of there, and he did to it and to the sovereign of there as he had done to Jericho. And from there he passed on to Lachish to fight against it. And Horam, sovereign of Gaza, went up to assist the men of Lachish, and Yahoshua smote him and his people until there was none left to him. And Yahoshua took Lachish and all the people of there, and he did to it as he had done to Libnah. And Yahoshua passed from there to Eglon, and he took that also, and he smote it and all the people of there with the edge of the sword. And from there he passed to Hebron, and fought against it, and took it, and utterly destroyed it. And he returned from there with all Yisrael to Debir, and fought against it, and smote it with the edge of the sword. And he destroyed every being in it, he left none remaining. And he did to it and the sovereign of there as he had done to Jericho. And Yahoshua smote all the sovereigns of the Amorites from Kadesh Barnea to Azah, and he took their country at once, for Yahweh had fought for Yisrael. And Yahoshua with all Yisrael came to the camp to Gilgal, when at that time Yabin, sovereign of Chazor, heard all that Yahoshua had done to the sovereigns of the Amorites. Yabin sent to Yovath of Midian, and to Laban of Shimron, to Yaphal, sovereign of Achshaph, and to all the sovereigns of the Amorites, saying, Come quickly to us and help us, that we may smite the children of Israel before they come upon us and do to us as they have done to the other sovereigns of the Amorites. And all these sovereigns listened to the words of Yabin, sovereign of Chazor, and they went out with all their camps, 17 sovereigns, and their people were as numerous as the sand on the seashore, together with horses and chariots innumerable. And they came and camped together at the waters of Merom, and they were met together to fight against Yisrael. And Yahweh said to Yahoshua, do not fear them, for tomorrow about this time I will deliver them up all slain before you. You shall hamstring their horses and burn their chariots with fire. And Yahoshua with all the men of battle came suddenly upon them and smote them, and they fell into their hands, for Yahweh had delivered them into the hands of the children of Yisrael. So the children of Yisrael pursued all these sovereigns with their camps, and smote them until there was none of them left. And Yahoshua did to them as Yahweh had spoken to him. And at that time Yahoshua returned to Chazor and smote it with the sword and destroyed every being in it and burned it with fire. And from Chazor Yahoshua passed over to Shimron and smote it and utterly destroyed it. From there he passed over to Achshaph, and he did to it as he had done to Shimron. From there he passed to Adullam, and he smote all the people in it, and he did to Adullam as he had done to Achshaph and to Shimron. And he passed from them to all the cities of the sovereigns which he had smitten, and he smote all the people that were left of them, and he utterly destroyed them. Only their plunder and cattle the Israelites took for themselves as booty, but every human being they smote. They did not allow a being to live. As Yahweh had commanded Moshe, so Yahoshua did, and all Yisrael. They did not fail in any word. So Yahoshua and all the children of Yisrael smote the whole land of Canaan, as Yahweh had commanded them, and smote all their sovereigns, being 31 sovereigns. And the children of Yisrael took their whole country, besides the reigns of Sichon and Og, which are on the other side of the Yardến, of which Moshe had smitten many cities. And Moshe gave them to the Reuvenites and the Gadites, and to half the tribe of Manasseh. And Yahoshua smote all the sovereigns that were on this side of Yardến to the west, and gave them for an inheritance to the 9 tribes and to the half-tribe of Yisrael. For 5 years Yahoshua continued the battle with the sovereigns, and he gave their cities to the Israelites, and the land had peace from battle throughout the cities of the Amorites and the Canaanites.